I'm ready to fit the DIO reed cage to the to my bike. Now I made sure that the reeds. Now I don't know if this will work because this reed material is extremely a lot thicker than the stock material. But I made some new gaskets using gasket felt here. And then what I'm going to do is I will take this Moto Seal. Here's a better picture of it right here. This is a gray Moto Seal. This is a gasket maker. It's really good for motocross when you've got to take a motor down and rebuild it and put it back together multiple times. And it works really good. What I do with the Moto Seal is I always have some Q-tips handy. This is a little tip. Q-tips work really good for a couple things. You can dip the Moto Seal in it and get into some tight places to get it where you want and not get a mess. Also, they're really good for cleaning up in areas where you can't reach, say like in bolt holes or other places that you can't reach. And these can hide a lot of crap in there, or dirt, or all kinds of messes that can get into the motor. So if you take some cleaner and go down in there like this and you clean them up real good, they're going to work okay. Let me show you how this is going to fit. Now the edges right here have got to be almost perfectly, this is such a tight fitting reed cage. It fits very, very tightly in the edge or against the walls on this side and on this side. Therefore, these reeds right here have got to be absolutely flat. Otherwise, they won't open because they'll stick against the side of the wall here or here. So we're going to mosey on over here too. It's kind of cold in here, so I'm not moving too fast. Maybe because I'm getting old. I don't know. And I will put the Moto Seal right on here. And I've cleaned up this area real well. And you can see and I've tightened everything up. Like I say, this is an experiment. I don't know if it'll work. I mean, that's half the fun of these little things, is experimenting. But I make sure it goes in and it fits correctly. Then what I do, the lighting is kind of poor. I apologize about that. Then what I do is I'll take my finger and I know you can't see this that well, but I will make sure that the reeds will open. And then after you take it out, you have to make sure this, like I said, everything can tell you a story. Now when I take a reed cage out and it has reeds on it, I look at it very carefully. I want to see if there's any leaks, if there's any problems, anything. And what I've noticed about these reed cages and those other carbon fiber reeds, if they are carbon fiber, is that right along this one little tiny edge right here, it begins to fray the reed, and I don't know why. Just on one side, on one corner. I don't know why. But on the reeds, you have to be very, very careful that the reed covers every bit of the cage surface. It has got to seal. So as the engine sucks on its downstroke, it will open these reeds just a little bit. You can see the light right there. You can see the light. It'll suck in the fuel and then it shuts on as the pressure wave increases on this side. Now I hope it works, but remember, the BOYESEN reeds are known for their material. Anyone can make a reed that can go 0 to 5,000 RPM, but once you're doing 10,000 or RPM over, you need consistent reed opening and closing that has to go very quickly in order to have a crisp top throttle response. And that's why I bought this material. So I'm going to put my Moto Seal on here. You don't use very much. And then I'll put it in here, and this is the other side. This is will go on the top. And I use some gasket material there, and you want to make sure your gasket material is away from the edges. And I'll just use a little bit around the edge of that, and then I'll put it all back together and see if it works. So we continue.